Today, we're looking at the Laowa 35mm Nanomorph. This is a Super 35 T2.4 1.5x squeeze anamorphic lens. We have the PL/EF interchangeable mount version because we wanted max compatibility. But they also come in Sony E, Canon RF, Fuji X, Nikon Z, Leica L, Micro Four Thirds, and the DJI DL mounts. So pretty much any Super 35 camera of the last few years will work with this lens. We have the blue version, but they also come with amber and neutral flaring options. We have used this lens on a few commercial and creative projects, and we're ready to share our opinions. Overall, it's been pretty positive. Build quality seems rather good. It's all metal and feels sturdy. The iris and focus rings move smoothly, and swapping out the mounts is simple. And although it's not clinical, it is very sharp. We could be wrong, but we think they might have an oval disc in the lens to help give it a stronger anamorphic look. It's also incredibly light. It weighs just over 500 grams, and apparently the mirrorless versions of this lens are even smaller and lighter. As mentioned before, this lens is designed for Super 35, but surprisingly, it almost covers full frame with subtle vignetting. If you're willing to crop a little in post, it's totally usable on full frame in our opinion. In terms of overall character, you aren't getting a huge amount of that classic waterfall-like painterly look that a lot of us are chasing from anamorphic lenses. To be fair, this is expected at this wider focal length and medium squeeze ratio, with the standard being 2x. But 1.5x is a great middle ground for anamorphic, where you aren't getting that spherical look, but you also aren't battling with strong distortion. It's also great for 16:9 sensors. It's important to remember a lot of people just want the aspect ratio, and not all the crazy character of typical anamorphics. And this lens seems like it might be the set for them. That being said, we are curious to see how longer focal lengths in the Nanomorph series stack up, because longer focal lengths typically have more compression and a stronger look to them. The other reason people shoot anamorphic is the flaring, and the flaring from this lens is pretty simple with direct light sources. But if you have stronger indirect sources, you can get a little more character and funkiness, which is nice to see, and it helps these stand out. I'll also mention that the squeeze factor is consistent from infinity to minimum focus. There aren't any anamorphic mumps, which you see from a lot of other brands in this price point. Minimum focus is pretty good for anamorphics at 60 centimeters, though you can get nicer results when using a diopter, which will also give you more character. Overall, we think this is a pretty solid lens. Shooters who already own Super 35 cameras, especially ones that can't shoot open gate and so wouldn't really benefit much from stronger stretch ratios, and those who want to jump into anamorphic without spending huge amounts of money, but also want a clean image that they can get away with when using on corporate and commercial content, as well as still using on creative projects, should probably pay attention to this lens. If you'd like to see us review the other lenses in this series, let us know. We've put a link down in the description where you can buy it online. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. Otherwise, you can follow us in the social links, and we'll see you next time.